Hello friends, I am Dr. Jayesh and in this video I will be covering about a short overview of controls in PCR. This will be very helpful while interpreting the results of real-time PCR assays in practical.
Analysis of findings.
In this video I will be explaining about controls which are used in real-time PCR. So there are three types of controls. One will be the extraction control, second is negative control or no template control, and third is positive control. So we will see the controls one by one. First of all, the negative controls. There are three types of negative controls. The first one is NTC or no template control. The second is NRT, that is no reverse transcriptase control, and the third one is NAC, that is no amplification control. So we will start with no template control. No template control omits any DNA or RNA template from a reaction and serves as a general control for external nucleic acid contamination. When using cybergreen chemistry, this also serves as important control for primer-dimer formation. Within the RT2 profiler PCR assays, which is used for focus panel of genes like in microarray, the GDC genomic DNA control will also serve as no template control as the assay is designed to detect genomic DNA. The second one is no reverse transcriptase control or minus reverse transcriptase control, which involves carrying out the reverse transcription step of quantitative real-time PCR experiment in the absence of reverse transcriptase. This control assesses the amount of DNA contamination present in an RNA preparation. The third one is no amplification control. This no amplification control omits the DNA polymerase from the PCR reaction. This is a control for background fluorescence that is not a function of PCR. Such fluorescence is typically attributable to the use of degraded dual-level probe. This control is unnecessary when utilizing cyber-green probe chemistries. No template control, that is NTC, or a minus sample control includes all the RT-PCR reagent except the RNA template. For this reaction, the RNase or DNase-free water should be used instead of template. A negative result indicates that the reagents have not been contaminated while setting up the run, and no product should be synthesized in the NTC or NAC. If a product is amplified, it indicates contamination or presence of genomic DNA or RNA in the sample. NTC is not equivalent to H2O controls or H2O water controls that we use in these other experiments. Now the next is positive control. What positive controls are typically included in real-time PCR experiments we will see here. It is critical to include appropriate positive control in PCR experiment to determine if false negatives are being detected in the experiment. Positive controls will be of two types. One is external positive controls and the second is endogenous positive control. Exogenous positive controls or internal positive controls refers to the use of external DNA or RNA carrying a target of interest. If these positive controls are assayed in a separate wells or tubes from the experimental samples, they serve as a control to determine whether or not the reverse transcription or PCR reaction conditions are optimal. Additionally, exogenous DNA or RNA positive controls may be spiked into the experimental samples and assayed in parallel or in a multiplex format with the target of interest. These control reactions assesses whether the sample contain any component that inhibit the reverse transcription or PCR. The next is endogenous positive controls. This refers to the use of native target that is present in the experimental samples of interest, but is different from the target under study. These type of controls are often referred to as normalizers and are typically used to correct for quantity and quality differences between the samples. Within the RT2 profiler PCR assays that we have seen can be used in microarrays, the positive PCR control, that is PPC, wells contains a plasmid with a primer assay that detects a sequence it produces. This allows for quick confirmation of the performance of the PCR steps. The RTC wells include assays that detect the artificial RNA that is spiked into sample during the cDNA synthesis step. This ensures that the reverse transcription steps has processed as needed. Positive control indicate that the primers and the probes for detecting the target gene work properly in that particular experimental scenario. If a negative result is obtained, the test results are invalid and must be repeated. Care should be taken to ensure that the positive controls does not contaminate any other kit component which would lead to false positive results. So this was about positive or PC and NTC, that is no template control in PCR. Now apart from this there are various commercial controls available. So out of that we will see two important controls. One is spike before extraction and spike before qPCR assay. In the spike before extraction or SPC, that is sample processing control, is spiked into the samples before extraction to monitor poor extraction yield. PCR inhibition, incorrect pipetting or cycling parameters will be taken care by these controls. The second one is spike before qPCR assays. This is an internal positive control and is spike into the samples before qPCR assay to confirm the absence of target sequence inhibition or a reaction setup cycling error. So the positive control can be included while extractions, which is called an extraction control, or can be included at before the qPCR experiment and can be called as an internal positive control. So these are the two types of more important commercially available controls available in the market. Now, how to interpret the results of real-time PCR with the help of the controls. So, with this table, we will see how to interpret the results of qPCR or real-time PCR. Now, in the first scenario, we can see the target is amplified, positive control is amplified, whereas non-template control or NTC is not amplified. So, we can classify this as a valid test and the reports can be released. In the second scenario, we can see the target as well as no template control is not amplified, but the positive control is amplified. So in this scenario also the test is valid and the reports can be generated. In the third scenario, we can see the target is not amplified as well as positive control is also not amplified, but the NTC, that is no template control, is amplified. So this is an invalid test and it suggests there is a contamination while processing the samples. The third one or the fourth scenario is the in which the target is amplified whereas non-template control or NTC and PC or positive control is not amplified. So again it shows that there was failure in the run and the test is invalid. In the fifth scenario, we can see the target, NTC, PC. All the three components are being amplified and it shows that the test is invalid and there was a contamination in the PCR setup process. because the non-template control or NTC, which should not get amplified, has been amplified in this scenario. The next is scenario where the target is not amplified but NTC and PC is amplified. Again, in this condition, we can see as the NTC is amplified, there is contamination in the PCR setup process and the test is invalid. In the third scenario, or in the last, finally, we can see the target is amplified and as well as NTC is also amplified, but whereas positive control is not amplified. So again, it shows there is a failure in reaction, and as the NTC is amplified and the PC which should be amplified is not amplified, and the test run is invalid. So these are the various situations or conditions we can come across to when we are interpreting the real-time PCR reports, and the report should be released according to the interpretations. In most of the cases, if the NTC is amplified, the test is classified as invalid and which should be repeated. Whereas in cases where the PC which should be amplified and if it is not amplified, it should be classified as an invalid test and the result should be discarded and rerun should be carried out. Now we will see in short why we get the amplification curve in NTC samples. Sometimes product can appear in non-template control. It can be due to some primer sequences to form structure that can be used as substrate by DNA polymerase. The most common version of this problem is primer dimer formation, wherein some small regions of complementary into the qPCR primers permit the production of amplifiable structures. Many primer designs tools will aim to eliminate this possibility to ensure that no primer can form a secondary structure with its own sequence. A second explanation for the amplification of NTC wells is the presence of contaminating PCR product amplified in the qPCR experiment. This is a significant concern when the same assay is used repeatedly and in particular when the reaction vessels are opened after the qPCR is complete. So, in this respect, melting curves can be used to determine if the NTC amplification is caused by carryover contamination. If this is the case, the product in the NTC reactions will be the same species as the intended target and the melt profile will match accordingly. If the contamination is detected, then all the reagents should be replaced, equipment should be decontaminated with 10% bleach, and the sterile procedure should be used for future experiments. So here we have seen how to interpret the controls in case of real-time PCR assays. So friends, with this explanation, I am concluding this video on controls in PCR, and I hope this found you useful for the interpretation of the results of controls in PCR. Thank you friends, and hope I will be back with some more videos, information and explanations about the molecular biology and real-time PCR assays. Thank you.